Welcome everyone to this exciting interview segment. Today we have the pleasure of sitting down with the Kristen Gutoskie, star of the Lifetime movie I Was Octomom. Join us as we delve into Kristen's insights into her character and the challenges of filming this movie. Thank you for being here with us, Kristen. It's
Thanks for having me.
a pleasure.
It's
So,
Chuck.
yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your character in I Was Octomom?
Sure. Well, she's a real life person. It's based on Natalie Suleiman, which was known as Octomom because she had octuplets in 2009. And this is basically based on her life story and all of the struggles that she endured in the time of prior to having the octuplets and then after. It's a biopic that she worked very closely with the writer, Kelly Fullerton, and she's an executive producer. So it's kind of her telling her life story in her words. And I played Natalie and yeah, portrayed her in the film.
Amazing. And
Mhm.
what initially attracted you to your role in this movie?
Gosh, it was a really interesting character to play. I remembered her from, when she was in the news back in 2009, but I didn't I didn't follow the story. I just kind of knew that she had eight children or eight babies at once. And then I kind of followed her over the years. I didn't follow her over the years. If I saw an article, recently with her children grown up, I found it really interesting and I wanted to know more about this person and her story. And I was just sort of getting back into work myself because I had a child in 2023 and I'd been back to work on a few jobs, but I finally kind of, at this point, he was 15 months old when we shot the film. So I felt like, I had a little more ability to kind of go back to work in a
Yeah,
full on part. And I thought it'd be an interesting challenge to take on a real person and to try and yeah, to learn her mannerisms and also try and make her a full human being.
amazing.
Yeah. And
And,
as a mother, it was more interesting too, right? Because it's
yeah,
a story of motherhood for sure.
great. And what do you think makes this movie so special and captivating for the audience?
I think a lot of people are very interested in Natalie's story. And some people know her as Nadia, but her birth name is Natalie. So I think a lot of people are very interested in, first off, knowing what was her thought process behind getting this IVF procedure. I know she had six children and she wanted a seventh. And the movie kind of explains what was behind and driving her into bringing another child into the world, which led to a lot more than one more, but also kind of getting into understanding what her struggles were and hearing it from her words, and especially now that her children are older, you get kind of an inside peek as to what her life was like and her experience was like. So I think a lot of people really were interested in her, and but there was a lot of tabloids and a lot of kind of salacious headlines, and I don't think anyone really got to know the real human being. So this really gives you kind of an inside peek what her experience was and who she is, which is interesting, I think, for people.
Yeah, very interesting.
Mm.
And about the environment on set, what was
Mm.
it like working with the rest of the cast and crew on set?
Oh, it was so awesome. We had so much fun. Yeah, I'm Canadian and we shot it in Vancouver. So nice to get to go back to Canada. And I actually am from Toronto, so I haven't spent a lot of time in Vancouver.
Mhm.
So it was really nice to be able to I was there for about a month. And it's such a beautiful place and the cast and crew were awesome. We became like the best of friends. Gosh, I was really sad to leave. We had so much fun on set. We would dance in between takes, with our AD, me and Mikey, and our wardrobe cast. We would throw on pony, like genuine pony, on the way to set and like do body rolls. It was a lot of fun. I really, wanted to bring a really positive and inclusive and loving atmosphere, to this project, and I think everybody did that. So we had a lot of fun, and it was long days and fast turnaround, and the shooting was a little bit nuts in terms of like scenes getting changed on the day, and so we were all kind of working really fast and hard, but it was so much fun, and like the kindest, most generous people, even our amazing like team in Crafty, they would make me little snack packages with my favorite Canadian snacks because, I hadn't been home in a while. So, and the cast, our producers, Stacy, our directors, Brianne, everybody was just wonderful. We had such a good time. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was really nice.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And the last question about this movie,
Mm.
what was your favorite scene or moment while filming it?
Hmm. Gosh, there were so many to think through. One of my favorite scenes. I think I would say in terms of acting, one of my favorite scenes was potentially when the woman comes and she's offering to like take the babies. It's not a nice scene by any means, but I found I had a lot of fun with the actor in that scene, and there were babies everywhere, so we just had a lot to juggle. There were real life babies in that scene.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, some of, and even included, when we were in the hospital, we had these real, 2 to 6 week old babies there with their mamas. And for me, I love babies, I love children, and as a mom, I really enjoyed getting to work with these little sweet little newborns in the world, and try to treat them as precious as we could, and the moms too, because it's such a precious time when you just give birth. So that was very cool. Then we also shot like a fake horror movie. It was very quick. You really just all you see is like the what was that? But it was we were laughing. It was like the last scene of the night, and we were all a bit tired. And we got to kind of have a little comedy in the movie for a moment. So the whole crew was cackling when we shot the little fake horror movie. So yeah, those were a lot of fun to do in different ways. Yeah.
Great.
Yes.
So, change of subject.
Sure.
You have to know that is a question that I ask to all the artists I have the pleasure to talk with to know you better. And
Okay.
change, what have been some of the most memorable projects you have worked on throughout your career and why for you?
Mm. Wow. Um, I mean, I definitely have to mention The Handmaid's Tale because it is an iconic, incredible art piece that will forever in history, I think, be impactful and remembered. It was such an honor to get to work on that project with such incredible actors, and a powerful story. And to get to play such a powerful badass that is Beth, and
Yeah,
it to be a character where I wasn't written to be, kind of an attachment to a man. I was just an empowered female. It wasn't someone's wife or someone's girlfriend who was there to kind of set them up for their big hero moment. I got to be Beth was her own hero.
yeah,
And so that character was so empowered, and the art that they make on that show is so stunning. So that was so amazing. I also really connected deeply with. So you mentioned the dust storm. I
yeah,
loved that because I got to play music and write music for it for the first time in a project. But the director of that, Ryan Layson, I did another film with him called All the World is Sleeping. And that was really important too because that was a story that was written with a bunch of recovering addict women who were struggling to, or in the past who were struggling with addiction, and um, he was essentially helping them write the story from their own experience to bring awareness and for some of these women who are struggling with addiction and pregnancy and a lot of important things to subject matter. So to have been able to step into a role of Nell, who was deeply struggling with addiction and was just this beautiful little lost soul, and trying to basically transform into a person that I know I've seen before in the world, and that often gets overlooked. You know, a lot of these people are just you walk by them on the street every day, and nobody really asks how they're doing. These folks who are struggling with addiction. So I think that was a really important, amazing script and story to kind of tell a story from those women's real experience, and then showing how they overcame their struggles. So those were really two very impactful projects I would say that come to mind that I loved working on. But I mean, there's so many great ones. I loved working on Containment. I loved, yeah, Narcos was cool. Yeah, I've been so fortunate to work on really cool projects.
Yes. And talking about another project of yours, another famous TV series you joined, Chicago Fire.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course. How did I not mention that? That's one of my favorites for sure.
We are great fans of Chicago Fire, and
Wow.
I would like to know more about your time on set,
Yeah.
if you would like to share. And we are expecting to see more Chloe.
Yeah, I would love that. Oh yeah, I mean, Chicago Fire is probably one of the most fun sets to work on. The first day I showed up, and this was years ago. I mean, I've done 5, 6 seasons now. The first day I showed up on set was in season 7, I believe. 7, I think. And everybody's established. All the actors have been on the show forever, and they're, big stars. And I walked into the little sitting area. And Miranda Mayo was there, and Taylor Kinney, and Joe was there, and the second I walked in, everybody was just like, "Hey, who are you? How are you? Sit down. Do you want a seat?" Like I remember Miranda was just like instantly like, "Sit down," made me feel so welcome right away. And that doesn't always happen, especially in established shows where everybody knows each other and they're there all day, every day. And they made me feel instantly welcome. And basically, behind the scenes, it probably isn't surprising to you because everyone has such good chemistry in the show. Everyone is just literally like cracking jokes all day or just reading their book, taking a moment to themselves. Everybody is so fun and so kind, and just really a lot of love and a lot of humor in the interactions, and it's just a lot of fun. And even the producers, Reza, everybody's so kind and so nice. I love everyone there. They're like a big family. So yeah, it'll be hopefully I'll get to go hang out with them again soon.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The last question.
Mhm.
Can you tease something about your next projects?
Yeah, right now actually, I have been working very tirelessly to get my music out. So I just released my first single, and I actually go under my middle name. So just under Lee Gutoskie, I feel like a part of me really connects with my middle name. And so, uh, yeah, I released my first single in January called Stardust with a live music performance. I released a few weeks later, and then this Friday, I have my second single coming out called Tunnel Vision. So we're releasing that. I also am in, Ryan Layson, who I've done The Dust Storm and All the World is Sleeping. We have a film that he's written for me to act and produce in. So we're in the early stages of that. And I'm also developing a series with Yvonne Strahovski from The Handmaid's Tale and Olivia Stambulia from Ambulance. So we're in the early stages of creating our own projects. That's really what I'm trying to do, is just more producing, finally getting the music out in the world and just making stuff that I'm really excited about. And yeah, that's what's in the works right now. So very exciting.
Amazing.
Mm.
So good
Yeah.
luck.
Thank you. I will take it.
And for now, this is it. Make sure,
Okay.
all of you, to go
Yes,
to,
it was
sorry, I was Octomom on a Lifetime platform. And thank you, Kristen, to join us today.
Yes, thank you so much. It's grazie. Grazie. I remember I took like 1 year of Italian in university and I feel like I've forgotten most of it. But yeah,
That's
anyways,
it.
ciao.
Is fine.
All right. Well, it was nice to chat with you.
For me too. Thank you
Bye.
all for watching. Bye.